NBA is dead. Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. I'm done with the NBA until LeBron James retires. That's right. Until LeBron retires, I'm done with the NBA. I will not watch the NBA and I will not make any videos about the NBA. The NBA is dead. And what did it for me? When this guy got the MVP in the Olympics when he did not deserve it. I'm finished. I mean, that just capped it off. I don't see how any NBA fan can even make another video or watch the NBA next year. I'm talking about an NBA fan. I'm not talking about any fan that's a specific fan of just one player. I'm talking about an NBA fan that wants to watch NBA basketball, that wants to watch real media talk about NBA basketball. So what are we going to be watching next year? Them talking about this guy won the gold medal, got the Olympic MVP, going for the in-season tournament championship, winning the in-season tournament MVP, and then he won't make the playoffs, right? This will be his main goal. This will be the media's main goal next year for this guy. Soon as Boston won the championship, what did we talk about next? We talked about Bronny. That's all they talked about. Where's he going to get drafted? These teams better not get Bronny, or Bronny is going to go play overseas. All this stuff. And then he gets drafted by the Lakers, as we all knew, which he didn't even deserve to get drafted. He was trash in college. And then all through the NBA preseason, which nobody even, I mean, not the preseason, the summer league, which nobody really watches unless there's a big star. I don't remember last time I even watched that thing. I think was Zion was playing or something like that. But other than that, who watches that summer league? So we were told to watch that. We were told we got to listen to the media about that. I'm just done, man. I just can't deal with it. I got to move on. I want to see other players get promoted as faces of the league. This guy is barely making the play-in and barely making the playoffs, and then loses, gets swept, 4-1 gentleman sweep. Hasn't did nothing with the Lakers. Getting all NBAs, even though he hasn't done nothing with the Lakers. Even though he has an all NBA teammate, a defensive teammate, a Hall of Fame teammate, a top 75 teammate. What are we going to do to help this guy? It's just, come on, man. If this guy was just going out on his last days and they was promoting the rest of the NBA and these up-and-coming stars, it would be different. But they're just like concentrating really on one guy. It's ridiculous. When we take players like Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Russell, Magic, Duncan, Bird, Kobe, these type of guys, if they were able to do some of this stuff and still be a GOAT candidate as far as number one and number two, like building super teams all of their careers, going around getting other players, number one franchise players, two at a time, the up and coming stars, getting all these coaches fired, really don't have no positional skills as far as shooting the mid range, the three, free throws, not playing defense on a high level. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Why would we consider these guys that I just named one or two best of all time? Being 4-6 in the championship game, getting swept 2 times, 2 gentlemen sweeps. I think it was 2 4-2s. It just seems like, it's been a theatrical show instead of real basketball. I'm sitting here watching 80s and 90s basketball, and these guys, if they carry, it's called automatically. If they palm, it's called automatically. If they travel, it's called automatically. All this type of stuff. It just don't. But these guys can just break the rules like it's nothing these days. One of the big things to me is dissing past players. And the media does this, and past players don't say nothing about it. You not only have the media doing this, you have players that's playing in the league right now that's doing this, or have been doing this, or the media has been doing this for a while. Players playing right now that's doing this, have been doing it, and then you got maybe players from maybe like the 210s that are no longer playing that have been doing this, dissing past players from the past. And this is what the NBA allows. You guys got to remember, whatever has been going on in the NBA the past 10, 15 years, or forever, we can say, it has to run through the NBA. whoever has the contract for the NBA, whether it's TNT, whether it's ESPN, they have to have the okay from the league to say certain things and do certain things. These guys just aren't allowed to pop off at the mouth. They got a contract with the NBA. So the NBA is approving or has approved all this nonsense and dissing their own past players for a long time. Right? The NBA has approved this guy team hopping, flopping, getting all these coaches fired. The media only revolving around him for all these past 15 years. So what I'm trying to tell you is it ain't like media does whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say. It has to be approved by the NBA. Okay, so all the stuff that I'm talking about, the NBA has to approve it and they have approved it, which doesn't show too much class to me. I'm hoping the NFL doesn't get like that. It looks like we're like going into that direction, right? With this whole Brady and Mahomes thing, it done already started. And the fact is, when we look at these errors and they're trying to compare, they don't even play the same style basketball, right? We already know once, the middle of the 2000s came, especially in the 2010s, once that came, nobody want to be back to the basket player. Everybody want to be perimeter shooters or face-up shooters. So it's not even the same style of play. So how can you even compare, they're not great shooters. They weren't shooting a three. These aren't even the same players. They weren't even told to play like that. It's like us saying, oh, well, you couldn't play in the 90s or 80s because you don't play with your back to the basket and you don't play positional basketball. So it's just crazy how this league has to diss their own past product just to get ratings and just to promote this guy as being some type of winner. I mean, anybody with common sense will tell you in any sports league, winning championships is number one. And number two will be, we can excuse a lot of that, right? If you're losing, but look, you were dominant, like statistically, as far as year by year, right? You was winning statistical titles, you was winning passing titles, or you was winning rushing titles. You were doing something like that, like a Will Chamberlain. He was winning all these scoring titles, one assist title, rebound titles, things like that. So he was dominant like that. You can excuse, Elway. You know what I'm saying? He was winning the titles. Marino. You can excuse these guys because they always played at a high level and gave it their all. Maybe a Jim Kelly, right? You can excuse that guy, even though they lost. He always played at a high level with Bruce Smith and what's this guy's name? Goodness, I forget the running back that they used to have. But these guys played at a high level. They didn't flop around. They didn't make excuses. They didn't have the media making up excuses for him. Thurman Thomas. I mean, this is just embarrassing to continue to be an NBA fan, to watch the NBA, to make videos about the NBA, and we got to deal with this next year from this guy. It's the same old, same old. Whoever wins the championship, it doesn't matter. We're back to what this guy wants to do, where he's going to go, how he's going to feel. For what? He's a loser. He's a loser. Like I said, if this guy would have got you like 5 statistical titles or something like that, and was on all these defensive teams and something like that, we could say, okay, this guy always played at a high level, no matter him being on the court, because 7 rebounds is underwhelming for a 6'9" guy, 250 pounds. The assists are good, but they're not great, and they're not upper echelon, right? So he never wants to get the full effort. And the thing is, you really could in this weak era, the 2010s, in the 2020s. You could be winning scoring title every year. You could be getting rebound title every single year or assist title, but this guy wants to always play in the middle. And we've been told that 27-7 and 7 is great. It's not. It's not when the league is so weak. So if you guys want to keep dealing with some of these guys want to keep dealing with it on these YouTube channels because they want to get that monetized money or whatever like that, but it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. The league is already, the ratings are already on the ground. And we can see that the past 10 seasons. And they choose not to promote nobody else as the face of the NBA. How long they been saying this? They've been saying this for a hot minute. They said, well, who's going to be the next face after LeBron? Who's going to be a new face? How can a face of the league be a loser and a team hopper and a super team builder? Did you go back and listen to some of them names I said? They might have left their team one time, right? Shaq did, and then he won 3 straight. Kareem did, after winning one championship, and then he went through that run in the '80s. You know, we don't think the other players, Larry Bird, um, Wilt Chamberlain left a little bit late when he was already older. Um, Let me see. Tim Duncan never left. Michael Jordan never left. Kobe never left. Larry Bird never left. Bill Russell never left. None of these, and this guy done left 3 times and built 3 super teams. And this is what we got forward to look to. Next year, Bronny. This is what you got to look forward to is Bronny, in playing with Bronny, the in-season tournament, the JJ Redick soap opera. I said the in-season tournament. Is he going to win another one? Another gimmick, whatever it is. And is he going to win the in-season tournament? I mean MVP. And then put him against weak competition. Anything that happens that's right there in front of your face that you know is wrong and bullish, it happens and they keep rolling. It happens and they keep rolling. So when they start these debate groups, what was it? First Take. So you had Skip at first, and he was on Cold Pizza. I think it turned into something else. First and 10, and they was just debating what was real, and they was holding players accountable, right? And then you have you guys like Stephen A. Smith come along, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, and now they're excusing what this guy has did his whole career. Imagine, Michael Jordan lost his first finals in a meltdown. He wasn't supposed to win, but in a meltdown. Then had the number 1 seed back-to-back seasons as the favorite, and had the best record in the NBA, and in the playoffs, and melted down in both of them series. Then built a super team, taunted the entire NBA, right? And then lost with that super team as the favorite. 4-2 he lost, Michael Jordan. That's 2 NBA Finals losses and 2 meltdowns. And then wins 2, and then loses 2. And now what are you? You're 2-4. And you lost 3 of them with a super team. With other teams' number 1 franchise players. After you don't play with 3 teams, right? Cleveland, Miami, and then back to Cleveland. And then he quit on his team in 2018. And then you go and play 2 more finals. Michael Jordan does. No, actually, that would be 1, 2, 3 more finals. And come out the whole thing 3-6. And they still got Michael Jordan challenging whoever as the GOAT. And Mike can't shoot from the perimeter. Shooting 37% from mid-range. Shooting 35% from the 3. No, I think it's 34% from the 3. And 73% from the line for his career after that 3-6 record in 2018. And basically all Mike knows how to do is do dunks and layups in a no-touch era. So that will put Mike as the GOAT or challenging whoever as the GOAT. Oh, goodness. Not to mention the 2015 meltdown Mike would have, where he shot under 40%, like 4 turnovers a game, shot 60-something% from the line in that series, and what was it, like 20-something% from 3? I mean, the NBA has really lowered the standards. And when Mike plays in the finals, nobody watches it unless Curry is playing. It's some of the lowest ratings. You guys got to remember, even when this guy was with the Heat, it was some of the lowest ratings. Nobody liked this guy. Remember, not just Cleveland fans, NBA fans, because of what he did. He was the best player in the league and went and played with what? The top 3-4 players in the East? So that would be like Michael Jordan going to play with Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing? It's ridiculous. So the NBA doesn't want to sell itself anymore based on actual play on the court. They want to sell itself on just this soap opera. And, you know, when you watch this guy get the Olympic MVP and his teammates not even be outraged, the ones that carried him, Durant, who hit a lot of big shots in this tournament to bring the team back when a lot of these teams try to flex on the United States, even before Curry even start warming up, and then what Curry did in the last two games. Because what it showed is when we can't drive to the basket and do dunks and layups, guess what? Now it's time to get the ball to real shooters who will shoot your lights out. You know, the game that we chose to play, the Euro ball instead of American ball. Yeah, we chose to play that game. So we choose to play that game. We got to have great shooters. LeBron is not that great shooter. So it's whatever, man. I just can't listen to the media no more. I mean, these people are supposed to be sports writers, intelligent people, people that went to college, and they're saying this stuff. These are supposed to be, or they're protecting this guy, and they got the nerve to even put this guy top 10, let alone in the damn GOAT debate next to Michael Jordan. Wow. Michael Jordan played on the perimeter, hitting incredible perimeter shots. Okay, so I don't know how they can ever compare. Michael Jordan didn't ball hog. He played off the ball. He barely brought the ball up. 99% of the time, he didn't even bring the ball up. For what? For what? Why would, he's not a point guard. He got his assist in the flow of the offense. He got his rebounds in the flow of the game. He didn't need the lane to be wide open and everybody at the three-point line to get his rebounds. And he got more offensive rebounds than LeBron James. To me, it's just not a real sports league anymore. And, you know, I really thought that this guy was going to retire after this year was over, after he got beat 4-1 in the first round. Thanks to Zion, he was able to get in the playoffs after Zion put on that great performance and then came up hobbling. What was it, after a dunk or a layup or something like that? Didn't even look like nothing was wrong with him. And then it was really, I think, didn't that game go to overtime or something like that? And then the Lakers won it. I know the Lakers probably would have had one more game, but still, man, these guys are barely making the playoffs, the play in, and then barely making the playoffs with two top 75 players on one team. Wow. This is how you got to promote your league, by dissing your past product, the past players of the past. You got to diss them to carry this. I've never even heard nothing like this. And when did we hear about this? Because I'd never heard about this until about 2018, right? Now, I know Nick Wright. First time I seen him, I think was about 2000 and, was it 15 or 16 or something like that? And he was on one of, I think it was Undisputed. Was he on that show? I think he was. And he came out and he said something about if LeBron wins his championship, he's the GOAT, or he's already the GOAT because he won the 16 title or something like that. So we hadn't yet heard nothing about distant past players. All we heard was some nonsense. The guy was now what, 3-4 in the championship and 3 meltdowns. What was it? I think it was one sweep. No, he wasn't. Was it? No, it wasn't 3-6. He was 3-4. If I didn't say that, it was 3-4. It wasn't until 2018 when we start hearing about distant past players. Once he lost his sixth championship, then we heard Nick Wright start dissing past players, right? And then it went on to 2019 where he missed the playoffs, and it just kept going. 2021, and it's never stopped. The JJ Redick said this, Colin Cowherd with dissing past players and dissing past errors. So this is what the NBA wants and what they allow. This just ain't people talking on debate shows. Everything has to get approved through the NBA for you to say these type of things because you got the contract through the NBA. They're not just allowed to say that. Because if the NBA really cared for them not to say it, they would have stopped that a long time ago. So the NBA has really become more about entertainment, a production, than even a real sport. And the only way they can make money is by a soap opera, not real actual basketball on the court. So them giving LeBron James this Olympic MVP, it just stirs up a whole bunch of more stuff. By bringing Bronny into the NBA, it stirs up it just keeps the NBA people talking about it. because there's really nothing to talk about. The ratings prove how good your league is, and the ratings are trash. Whether it's during the regular season, when they play on Christmas, when they play on any other holiday, in the playoffs, in the finals, it's trash. The viewership determines it all. And like somebody said, most of the fans that go to those arenas, they're not even real fans. They just go to see entertainment, right? The real fans went to go see real basketball. They went to go see American basketball. They went to go see rivalries. They went to go see teams. They didn't go to see a player jumping team from team to team to team. That ain't how we supported our teams back in the day. Right? This guy's not a real Laker. He came to the Lakers to what? To walk all over the legacy of Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, James Worthy, all these other guys, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and you guys, Kareem, he didn't get drafted. It's not about getting drafted there. It's about, I don't mind if you went from another team, came from another team, and you stayed at that team. Especially if you wasn't, you only did it one time. A lot of players did that. But if you're team hopping and hopping and hopping and hopping because you're losing and you're getting curb stomped, that's a different story. This guy came over here after playing for 3 teams and being curb stomped and said, oh, well, let me go over here because the NBA isn't about teams no more. It's about players. So let me go over here and get this scoring title on top of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I thought that was just, wow. Remember, Kareem didn't play too many years over there with the Bucks. What, he played about 3-4 years or something like that? And then he went over there to the Lakers. So that's what it was. LeBron knew he was close to that points title. I don't call it a scoring title. A scoring title is when you win the scoring championship every single year. That's a scoring title. LeBron got the points title. He got the most points. It ain't a scoring title. Michael Jordan won scoring titles. 10 scoring titles. LeBron won 1 scoring title. LeBron has the most points. He's got the points title. But they want to make it seem like, So he went over there and he walked all over Kareem's legacy. That's all he did. Try to go over there and erase Kobe's legacy. And he's still doing it. Right? Oh, I played with my son as a Laker. Oh, I won the in-season tournament as a Laker. I won a bubble championship as a Laker. I got so many points and so many assists and so many rebounds, and that kicked in when I was a Laker. So he's really trying to, be the all-time greatest Laker of all time. Not way of winning championships and greatness and doing it like past players. It's just crazy to see this guy even wearing a Lakers uniform. And then the guys that, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Nick Rice, the Shannon Sharp, everything he has done wrong in his career that don't make him a top 10 player, don't make him a real competitor, running team to team to team to team and building super teams and getting all these coaches fired, getting all these new teammates, not playing defense, flopping around, crying. They say nothing about it. They say nothing about it. They just talk about his 4 championships, 4 MVPs. And what is it? 4 finals MVPs. He didn't deserve those 2 MVPs in Miami with those super teams. Nobody respects him 4 championships. But you guys heard me say this before, right? You see how they just move away from the criteria when they go to LeBron, like ESPN, and your Stephen A. Smith, your Chris Broussards, what they use is for Michael Jordan. They go, Michael Jordan got 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 3 steals titles, and the defensive player of the year. So they add all those things up. But when it comes to other players, they push them to the side. You know what I'm saying? When we get the Wilt Chamberlains. Yes, he's 2-6, but he's got 5 MVPs. He's got 11 rebound titles, 7 scoring titles, and 1 assist title. They push all his um statistical titles to the side. They push it all to the side. When you look at Kareem, six championships, six what is it? 6 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs. What's he got? 2 scoring championships. I think he's got like 1 rebound title and 3 block titles. They just push all his stuff to the side, right? And the same thing with Magic Johnson. 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, 3 MVPs, 4 assist titles, two steals titles. So these guys, their statistical titles don't matter but when you get to Michael Jordan, they use his statistical titles against LeBron James. But if you try to use anybody else's statistical titles against LeBron James, they're pushed to the side. What they try to use is 27, 7, and 7, which is it's weak. It's not all-time great, not for his position, not as a point guard. And I told you guys, 27 assists is good. It's not great, and it's not upper echelon. 7 rebounds at 6'9", that's horrible. 27 points and 1 assist title, not good. Or 1 scoring title. So this is what you got, man. I couldn't make no video. Keep making these videos. We're talking about Bronny. We're talking about what kind of help is this guy gonna get? All this stuff into next season. It's just not worth it, man. It's not worth it. If you're a real NBA fan, why would that be worth your time to even watch something that ain't real no more? This guy could play for the next 7 years, and they'll be talking about him for the next 7 years. They won't be talking about Victor Wembanyama. To me, it's just some mysterious stuff going on in that league, too. Zion, he never really became a star. Really?